Hello everybody, and welcome to TJonesGaming. My name is Tori, and today, by request, I am going to show you how to make an underwater castle out of glass. So the basic components, I'm going to build the floor out of sandstone, the walls out of glass. I'm using spruce doors because I think they'll look good, and some lanterns. And then there's a couple ways to get water out of your house. Sponge is the easiest way, but it can be hard to come by, so you can also use sand or gravel. Or basically any kind of block that will get rid of the source block of the water. Alright, let's jump in the water, and I want to go deep enough that my castle's not going to poke above the water, but also I want to be able to see it from the surface, so probably this will be about deep enough. And I'm going to hit F3G to turn on so I can see the chunks. It shows chunk borders. And I think this is good. A good spot. Because I'm going to make this castle exactly one chunk by one chunk. Now I'm building this in creative, so I don't have to worry about drowning, but when I built this build in my survival world, I used this little door trick that was shown to me. So you see, you can place two doors down, and then if you need to breathe, you can place one door, but it's easier with two. If you need to breathe, you can just go into the little air pocket made by the doors. So that's very helpful if you are building this in survival. Now we're going to lay out the glass, and the turrets on each corner are going to be 4 blocks by 4 blocks. And then I'm going to bring it in 1, so that's going to leave room to get on the inside to get in and out of this turret. And then I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces for my doors, and then do the same thing here. Okay, now that I've got the outline laid in, I want to make the ceiling 4 high. So I'm going to build it up 5. The 5th layer will be the roof, and then the 6 layers, there's going to be a slight wall around the edge of the roof. So I'm going to make it 6 tall. Now I've got the walls in place, so I'm going to drop the roof in. Now, I want to have a chandelier in the middle of the castle, so I'm actually going to leave room for that. Okay. So I'm going to leave a 4x4 space, and the chandelier is going to take up that middle 2x2 section. Now we're going to raise the turrets up by 1. And we're going to flesh out the turrets. They're going to go all the way. And actually, I want these to be raised up 1, 2 as well. So the turrets will be slightly taller on the inside. Alright, now it's time for the crenellations. So the crenellations are the little bit that poke up above the walls. So I'm going to put 1 block on each corner. Then I'm going to put a block here on this wall. Put 1 block space between them. And then in the middle it leaves a 2 block space. So, the exterior is basically finished. I'm going to add my doors. I'm going to place them on the inside. Oh, sorry, I made the openings too wide. They need to be 2, not 4. Okay, now I can place my doors on the inside. And the doors will keep the water from flowing in, so I like to leave them open just because then I don't have to open and close them all the time. And I chose spruce doors because they have that medieval look to them. Now we need to suck the water out. So the easiest way to get the water out is by placing a sponge. You see? And it breaks the source blocks. And you want to start from the top and work your way down. But if you don't have access to a sponge, and when I was in survival, I built my place like right away, so I didn't have sponges to work with. So what I did to get rid of the water source blocks, I placed sand everywhere. I filled the whole interior with sand. And then when you break the sand, the water source block is removed. Alright, I need to be in here, I think, to break that source block. So, and it gets a little bit tricky. But another trick too, if you don't know it, is placing, you know, once you've got the whole interior filled up with sand, then you can place a torch underneath. You got to be a little bit quick about it, but if I break it and place the torch, it breaks all of the blocks, all the sand blocks above it. So that can be a little bit, you know, that can speed up the process of removing the sand. There you go. All the water's been pulled out. If you want to dry sponges, you can throw them in a furnace, because these are the ones I'm picking up now are wet sponges. I got all the sponges removed, and the next thing I did was to light my place up, and I used lanterns and panes of glass. And I ended up putting torches around my inside, or not, I ended up placing chests around the inside walls. So I put the lanterns over the door, and then there's chests and all the, on all the walls. So that's why I chose this placement. And then I also place them on the interior walls of the turrets, just to make sure everything's lit up. I don't want mobs spawning inside my base. You don't have to have as many doors as I have, but I like the symmetry of it all. It's a very symmetrical build. And then in the center is where I have my oops, I didn't mean to do that. In the center is where I have the chandelier set up. Also suspended from panes of glass. There you have it. Let's go look at it from the surface, shall we? That's how it looks from the surface. Nice, beautiful glass underwater castle. And here's what it looks like on the inside. It's nice and light. You can see out. I recommend building it in a coral biome, but I did not do that for this tutorial. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this this little how-to. If you did, please be sure to click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take it easy.